Hello there, Steve here in Sydney. I'm going to do you the lay gnosis take on a very, very famous man, one Nikola Tesla, and tell you something surprising about him that you may not know, and how you might even be able to emulate what he did. Just a quick summary for people who don't know. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian immigrant, a superbly educated person, migrated to the United States and made some very spectacular inventions. In fact, some of the greatest inventions of all time. And just one, I'll give you an idea of the value of it. The three-phase alternating current electrical system that powers the entire planet these days was invented in opposition to Thomas Edison's DC power system. And I'll just tell you now, I've got electrical engineering training. I've worked in electronics and electricity all of my life, and I'll tell you right now that comparing DC electric generated power to the AC three-phase system that Nikola Tesla came up with is sort of like comparing hopscotch with ballet. It's really a laughable comparison, and DC electric power never had a chance at all. He's got a number of great inventions to his name, Nikola Tesla, namely remote control, wireless remote control of boats and aeroplanes, etc., wireless communication, wireless telegraphy, all sorts of wonderful things. The ubiquitous neon tube, which is now supposed to rescue us from global warming. We really can't thank the man enough for what he did. And now I'm going to tell you something that you may not have picked up on about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was an eccentric man from that society's standards at the time, but not really so eccentric by our modern way of things. He was often asked, and did explain sometimes, where he got his ideas, how he got his ideas. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. It's something that you may not have put together yet, despite all the many learned commentaries on Nikola Tesla's career and his behaviour. And it sort of goes like this. When asked how did he get an idea, he said a voice spoke to him doing some sort of commentary in his head, in his mind's eye, and images were shown to him in great detail. Things were rotated so he could see them from all different angles. He'd already had a series of said to be epileptic fits from his childhood, where his ability to visualize was improved as he matured. They may not really have been epileptic fits after all. Now, the other thing that Nikola Tesla says is that he believes, and I'll quote him here, I found this, he said, "The gift of mental power comes from God, the divine being." Now, why would such a highly intelligent person say that? No one ever called him a fool, not once. So we really got to listen to this man, his philosophy, his motivation, and what he told about his own mental processes, because it's quite possible now, today, about 100 years later, for you to duplicate his mental process. And first I'm going to tell you, his process is actually one of gnosis. Gnosis means connecting with that divine that he is referring to. It's, in most people, a second intelligence that dwells within you as a silent partner. You are oblivious to its presence at all, except in some awakened people who are naturally awakened to that second intelligence. It literally speaks to them. They hear voices. They can also show you images in your mind's eye. Now all of a sudden, he's a Gnostic. Things become a lot simpler. There are other Gnostics too that hear voices throughout history, but none as really as productive as Nikola Tesla. One of them was, say, perhaps Joan of Arc. She did the same thing. She knew things. She could outguess British army movements in the 14th century. So, interestingly enough, Nikola Tesla, definitely being a Gnostic, was listening to internal words spoken by the divine that he knew so well. He literally was conversing with God there, being shown things to show to us. Now, many other people can be Gnostic, but it's no use telling all this complicated engineering stuff to a pastry cook. You've got to have someone on the receiving end of this knowledge who can understand it and implement it. So a lot of other people can be Gnostic too, but he was chosen out of millions of people because he had the wonderful education, the engineering skills, mathematical skills, computational skills, to be able to handle the vast input of information to his mind's eye, which he translated into many, many inventions. What I'm getting at here is that you can become Gnostic too, like him, and connect with this divine thing, the silent partner that lives in everybody. And it's done today at a website. A biochemical switch closure will be done in you. It takes only 20 minutes a visit to the website. You will be given immediate physical evidence. Within 7 days you will receive some messaging dreams. Within 14 days you will get some independent physical signals which will astound you. In 3 to 4 months you will begin to hear the mentoring voice that Nikola Tesla spoke of, that he wrote about, okay? The thing that showed him things, pictures him in his mind's eye with a running commentary. Now you can do this at a website called truebluehealer.com. It's already proven in 10 countries. Hundreds of people have already been there and had their biochemical switch closure and are now living in the same state of consciousness as Nikola Tesla. Naturally, because they're not all qualified engineers and mathematicians, they're not all having their heads filled with amazing inventions, because they just can't do it. They're not equipped for that. But the general thing about Gnostic people is when they make this connection, when this internal second intelligence reveals itself to them, they are given a job which they are capable of doing. And you can do this yourself at truebluehealer.com. The process is completely natural. It drip feeds into you every day and it's triggered in just 20 minutes. The physical signals, by the way, are medically measurable through your skin using an ECG type device, as you commonly see in a hospital today. Now, it's tested in 10 countries on hundreds of people, and there are 1, 2 and 3 year veterans of this triggering process to tell you their personal experiences. You can put any question you like to these Gnostic veterans. I'll also just put a little sort of thinking question to ardent Christian people. Knowing that Nikola Tesla is in fact a Gnostic, receiving literally messages from God internally, that's spoken communication as well as images in his mind's eye, literally meaning he literally met God. Now that happened before Jesus ever descended from the sky for the second coming. And I do not recall Nikola Tesla ever having been punished for knowing God before Jesus comes. So I just put it to the most ardent Christians who seem to see this as a barrier to ever becoming Gnostic themselves, that nothing serious happened to Nikola Tesla. He's certainly got a whole lot of communications from the second intelligence living within him. So you can go through the same process and get this biochemical triggering in just 20 minutes in a visit to the website truebluehealer.com. All questions are answered, and there's a whole list of people you can talk to, 1, 2 and 3 year veterans. So I'll see you back at the website truebluehealer.com.